going to talk a little bit about our reading from Romans. And Paul, who was the writer of this letter, he wrote letters to communities of early believers, okay, in the times when they were just starting churches and beginning to learn to worship together and learn more about God and Jesus. Well, in those times, families met together in what were called home churches, okay? And that reminded me that that's the way nativity started. Before we had these buildings here, a group of families met in the home of Dr. and Mrs. Boyer, and that's where our church began as well, in a home. So we have something in common with our early believers. So Paul was a great encourager. He wrote letters to new communities of believers. And in this particular letter, he is reminding the community of believers that they are children of God. We are children of God. That message is ours today as well. And as children of God, Paul reminded them to behave and to act like children of God. And I began to wonder, well, what does it mean to live as a child of God? And it brought me back to some of the things we did in Vacation Bible School. I have some signs. And I wonder if anyone, Elizabeth, what is this sign? Right, recycle, reuse. So we can care for the earth. We can care for God's creation. Come on up, June. There's a seat for you anywhere, okay? There's one on the end, okay? You want to sit next to your brother? Okay, Rowan, do you mind moving over one? Thank you so much. All right, so one of the things we can do is we can care for the earth. Now, does anyone know what this is? Okay, Lydia, what's this? It's a heart. Now, when you see a heart, what do you think of when you see a heart? What do you think of? June? Love, right. So as children of God, we can live in a way that shows love and care for others. Do you have a question, Elizabeth? That's great. Good job. Good job. I could do it this way. I don't do it as well that way, but good job. All right, let's look. Does anyone know what this sign is? Go ahead, Rowan. Peace. Good job. So if we're living as children of God, we want to work towards a world of peace and justice. All right? How about this one? What does this one say? Bennett. Welcome. We want to welcome everyone into our family, right? Okay. This one's a little harder to figure out. What do you see in this picture? What do you see, Lydia? What are these? Shirts. Okay, how many shirts are there, Elizabeth? Okay, Lydia got it, 2. So what do you think this might mean, Elizabeth? That's true, it could mean that. This morning someone said equal. And I thought, okay, well, if we have 2 shirts and our neighbor needs a shirt, what should we do with one of our shirts? Madison. Yeah. Give it to those who need shirts. Okay, so we can share the blessings that God has given us with others, right? And in doing all these things, people will see God's love in each one of us. In doing these things, we live as children of God. Would you please be my echo and pray with me? And I invite all of you to do that, because after all, if we're all children of God, why aren't you all sitting up in the front row, right? All right, let us pray. God, we are thankful. We are your children. Help us to love you and love all your children. Together we say, Amen.